probably the most compelling Theodicies that I've ever encountered. Um, Besides Farley's and her Lord of the Rings thing, I love that. But besides that, in real life, it's when somebody who's been through fire comes out of the fire and praises God. Which, if you think about it, is pretty much what goes on in the Psalms. Um, a couple of you mentioned the Psalms as possible theodicies. Uh, I wonder if maybe the Psalms of lament or suffering that end in praise, if maybe those aren't the closest thing that the Bible gets to a theodicy. Because in my own experience, in my own church experience, my own life, what's more compelling than anything else is when somebody gets up there and they've just gone through hell. I mean, really have. Whether it's cancer, or it's losing a loved one, or being a part of a war zone. I mean, there's so many different things. Going and serving in Haiti or in Africa and seeing people dying of AIDS or starvation, experiencing and living through and participating in actual human horror, and then going through that process and getting up in front of everyone and saying, and this is what it taught me about love, the cross, and God, and may his name be praised now and forever. I don't think there's anything that's more compelling to human beings than that. And there's a reason why Christianity, the gospel, is a message. It's good news that people tell each other. They testify to what's gone on in their lives and how the grace of God has changed them and forgiven them and set them free and healed them. And this is how the gospel goes out. It's testimony. It's not it's not usually a rational argument that gets people on board, if you know what I mean. And I wonder if maybe our approach to theodicy ought to be something similar. There's just not, no matter how compelling your argument is, no matter how rigorous your thought is, the experience of suffering is so profound in human life that the only there is no answer to it, but there is the possibility of having walked through it and then sharing what God was and who God was to you in its midst. I don't know that there's a better way to defend God than to say he was with me. And there were times where I called out and I heard nothing, and then there were other times where his overwhelming love and affection brought me through. I mean, what else? What's more real than that?